Peace, blessings, and salutations. My name is Yarima Karama, coming to you again with another segment of Voices from Behind the Wall. The last segment I talked to you about my partner, Dr. D, and some of the elders that kind of took me up under their wing and gave me a lot of reading material, a lot of books, gave me a lot of wisdom, not only about the system, but the initial start of the system and how that transformed from the slave system into the new age prison for profits system that we now find ourselves in. So important factor to know. First of all, thank you for all the feedback you've given. I take the bitter with the sweet. I always say that every day is a good day. Even if it's a bad day, it's a good day because it's a learning experience. I get something out of it. I'm able to take that learning experience no matter what it is, and I'm able to capitalize off of that. If anything, I'm able to take that experience and say, hey, this is not what I want to be a part of, or this is not the type of feedback that I need in my system. So I appreciate all the feedback. I appreciate all the people who have reached out and lended their support. I'm thankful. This segment, I want to go into going into the actual system working. The unit team, they have what they call a unit team there in the system, which is basically it consists of a case manager, a counselor, and a unit manager. Whatever unit you're in, each unit in the institution, they have different units. Each unit has a unit manager. They have a case manager, specifically somebody over your case, and then they have your counselor. This guy divvies out jobs, comes to see you if you get any write-ups or you're in the hole, that sort of thing. They're supposed to provide stamps and stuff. Basically what these unit teams are is they're basically just there to get a paycheck is basically it, especially for the people that have long, extensive periods of time that they have to do. I have friends that are still in. Their out date reads death. I mean, quite frankly, they don't have an out date. So the unit team is of no value to them. The unit team was of no value to me until basically my last 6 months, basically. But anyway, this is the system they have designed. It's also a kangaroo court system. You go through these guys or ladies if, you want to file something, or if they have deemed you to be guilty of something. Maybe you're going to do whole time, which is I'm going to talk about in my next segment. But these are the people that you go through, and basically they're going to find you guilty because it's just like the blue wall of silence out here with the police, in which that system is cops don't tell on cops. Well, it's the same system in there, meaning basically breakdown, you got nothing coming. So I go to the unit team and about a job. Now, what they do is when you first get to the institution, you get acclimated. You get your khaki uniforms. They give you your sets of clothing, your boxers, your socks, t-shirts, that sort of thing. Then you go through the physical process where you have these fake PAs, physician's assistants. Most of them don't really have any credentials, but you never find that out unless there is a serious issue and you have to file on it. And then you come to find out that they're really not legit. But anyway, they do these lightweight probes, take your blood pressure. Basically, if your blood pressure is good, they're basically telling you, yeah, you're fit to go to work. And the work is slave wages. You're working for 12 cents an hour. I think when I first started, because I was refusing certain jobs, I was making $5.25 a month. System is basically same as it's set up out here, meaning your white inmates have the more prominent jobs, such as your unicors. They're going to be the QAs. They're going to be the reception guys, the guys that are going to be doing the majority of the paperwork. They're going to mostly be doing the pay as far as the pay grades and pay. Your work foreman actually will do the pay grade, but he will have somebody, another inmate, mainly white, who is going to be doing the pay as far as divvying out everybody's pay. So in any case, I go to the team. Now, I had already surmised in my mind that there was just some jobs I wasn't going to do. If you don't go find a job, they put everybody in the kitchen. Now, this creates something that is very unique, because I'm like this: if a person doesn't want to work in the kitchen around food, you shouldn't force them in there, because we have to eat this. So this should be people who actually want to work in there. However, the flip side of the coin is the majority of people are not going to want to work in the kitchen. There are a small group of people who want to work in the kitchen. There's benefits to working in the kitchen. You can basically eat all you want. And there's certain other benefits. You can sneak stuff back to the unit to sell, that sort of thing. Guards will overlook that. So there are some benefits for those that want to work. I didn't want to work in the kitchen. So what they tell you is that you go find a job. So the only job that was available, now I'm going to tell you, I've never been a dumb guy. I'm pretty educated. As a matter of fact, when I went into the system, they were just taking the Pell Grants out, thanks to, I believe, Bill Clinton. And there were some people out here screaming. There might even have been a 60-minute segment talking about, our kids out here can't get a degree, but people in prison are getting a degree. So, well, I mean, if you really want crime to stop, you might want these guys to be educated, especially when statistics show that the higher educational level, the less likely these guys are to return to prison. And statistically, it does show that. But anyway, the Pell Grants have been taken out. I still need, till this day, I need about a year left. I have about a year left of credits to get my 4-year degree. So anyway, I went to the education department to get a job. Basically, all those jobs were filled. The prominent jobs were filled by, the white guys. And so the only other jobs that were available besides the kitchen were working out in the sun doing grass. I was in a place that had so much land mass cutting grass, being outside in the hot sun all day. Quite frankly, that felt too much like slavery to me. I wasn't going to do that. So, and then like I said, the brothers, Dr. D, and a few of us, we had ciphers every night. And as they started opening my mind to how this system was really running, when they started opening my mind to the fact that most of these institutions are put in small, rural, white communities to help them build their job base, and it's for the benefit, basically, of profiting, giving these small, rural communities an outlet to make money, to build their infrastructure. I was like, you know what, man, I'm just, I got all this time. I'm already mad about that, because quite frankly, I don't feel like I'm guilty, like you proving me guilty. I was already mad that I had an all-white jury of old white people that just found me guilty like that. So I was just like, you know what, if I'm gonna be here, I'm making this time about me. This time is going to be my time. If I'm going to be in prison doing time, it's going to be my time. And so I basically just refused to work. And, especially seeing the dynamics of, even in the institution, how, certain groups got the better jobs, certain groups were relegated to the lower jobs. The blacks and the Mexicans, we basically put on the yard, unless you wanted to go work in Unicor, which I had already deemed that I was not doing that. I was not going to work in Unicor to help send military materials overseas, to help our military, and to help make billions of dollars for the Unicor within the institution, which I will talk about that the next segment, how I was actually teaching on that, how Unicor was actually in the Wall Street Journal. It was actually on the NASDAQ stock exchange as one of the major stocks. And, I got in trouble for teaching that class. But anyway, I had already made up in my mind I wasn't doing that. So the problem came when I said, I'm not cutting grass all day. I'm not doing that. And it was deemed, well, you got to cut grass. So what did I do? I just fell out. I said the sun was too hot. I fell out. I had already made it up in my mind that, you know what, you gave me all this time. You gave me this time bogus. It's a kangaroo court system that we go through, the injustices. I was meeting gentlemen who had life sentences, 3-4 life sentences, hadn't killed anybody. I was like, you know what, wait, there's people getting sentenced right now who took a life. They're getting sentenced to murder. And they're going to get out of prison before you. Some of them are going to get out of prison before me. I was just like, you know what? I'm not working. So when they said, well, you got to work, they put me on a job, and I just went out, hot day, fell out. They rushed me to the physician's assistants. They said they didn't know what was wrong. I was like, well, hey, you know, it's too hot out there. I can't do it, man. And continue to talk with the brothers, the elders at night, and just continue to build with them, continue to really start researching, continue to read, and just really was on a point where I was just bucking the system, and I don't regret it. I will say this, that, you know, this was probably a greater college experience for me than any college I've ever gone to out here. And I've been to a few different colleges out here. Like I said, I got about a year left to get my 4-year degree if I decide to pursue that. So the next segment, we're going through the work. The next segment, I want to talk about the whole. And I was teaching a class on how the Unicorn within the system was on the NASDAQ, and lieutenants, basically the administration, came to me and said, hey, you got to stop teaching that class or else. And I was like, what do you mean stop teaching it? It's in the newspaper. Guys can go to the Wall Street Journal and find this. They said, well, let them be the ones to go to the journal and find it. You don't need to be teaching it. So I'll get into that in my next segment. Hey, man, my name is Yarima Karama. Again, Voices from Behind the Wall. You can catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I got my album out, My Testament Volume 1. It's on Spotify, Reverb Nation, Amazon, iTunes. I'm also working on 2 albums right now simultaneously, 2 different producers. I also have my own company called Y Our Urban Youth LLC. I do mentoring workshops for at-risk youth, middle schoolers, trying to do what I can to give back. Again, special thanks to Dr. Boyce Watkins. Special shout to Javion, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, Javion Jones. Please go to www.tilmone, I think it's TILLIMONE.com. Look this brother up, support his clothing, apparel. I'm in the process right now of looking for specifically black businesses that I can spend money with. Clothing, apparel, the necessities. I would like to do that with reputable black businesses who are supporting our cause, Black Lives Matter, all these causes that are going on right now. I want to support the people who are supporting our communities. I want to get away from the ones who aren't supporting our communities, such as your Walmarts, your Neiman Marcus's, your Fifth Avenues, these different Saks Fifth, Nike, these different organizations who love our money, but they don't support us. So with that said, again, until next segment, peace, blessings, and love to you. 1.